Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today. The first hot pepper of the year has ripened, and it is the cherry bomb pepper. And these have been around for a really long time, to be honest with you. I think the first mention that I read about was in 1586, and I think they're more commonly referred to as the red cherry chili, but nowadays they're known as the cherry bomb. And it ranges from 2,500 to 5,000 Scoville units, so not real hot. The hottest a jalapeno gets is 8,000, if that gives you any kind of frame of reference. Let's cut this guy off the vine, take it inside, and do a review. We are back inside. I was going to do the video outside, but it is just really windy out there, and you probably wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. Well, this is the cherry bomb pepper. You can see where it gets its name. It basically looks like a cherry on steroids. Very smooth, very red. Feels real thick-walled. You know, sometimes you can kind of squeeze a pepper a little bit. You can kind of tell how thick the wall is. Let's cut this thing open, I'll give you a look. Yeah, it's very thick-walled. It's juicy too. You can just see it oozing out of the pepper. You can kind of see it's pretty juicy. A lot of pith, a lot of seeds. Let me give you a look at the cross section here. I mean, look at that core, that center. That's the pith, or the placenta, as it's also called. And that's where the heat is produced. The capsaicin oil comes from that. A lot of people think that the seeds are hot, and that's where the heat comes from. That's not actually true. The seeds may be hot, but that's only because they're coated in capsaicin oil that was produced in that pith. I'm going to take some of these seeds out because I don't want to eat just a big mouthful of seeds. This is supposed to be a mild pepper. It's an annum, not a chinense. Oh wow. I mean, there are a lot of seeds in here. They're pretty common around here. Not as common as they used to be. I used to see them like everywhere. Every garden center, Lowe's, you know, every place like that. I've only seen them in a few places this year, and decided I wanted to grow some. It's supposed to be a sweeter pepper with a mild heat, like I said outside when I was kind of describing it to you. And there are still more seeds in this thing. Sheesh. Got the majority of the seeds out, but it smells very green pepper-like. Some people call that a vegetable smell. I can almost smell the sweetness too. I'm gonna eat half this thing, we'll see how it goes. It is very thick-walled, very green pepper taste forward. Too much placenta in this thing, whoa. Very juicy. There's the heat. Back of the tongue heat. Back of the throat. It is pretty mild. I'm actually choking on seeds. The sweetness isn't as intense as I expected it to be. It's there, but it's not real powerful. I did a video on a pepper called Satan's Kiss. I think it was 2 years ago now. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. It's like a milder form of one of those, but the walls are thicker on this. The skin's like almost apple-like. It almost has an apple taste too. A little bit of sweetness in the skin, maybe. It's probably not where I'm getting the sweetness. It's probably in the thick walls of the pepper. But it's very apple-like when you crunch into it. This would be really good in salsas. Get all the seeds out. Now, from what I understand, they treat these a lot like the Satan's Kiss pepper, where they'll stuff them with cheeses and meats and they'll bake them. Not as sweet as I would like it to be. That's very subjective though. I like a good balance of sweet and heat. This has low heat. It's a mild, very mild. On a scale of 1 to 10, definitely a 1. If I had to compare it to something, I guess maybe Tabasco, that kind of heat level, maybe a little more than Tabasco. But on the milder end of a jalapeno. For as juicy as it was, You think it would explode with either sweet or heat or both. It's not got a lot of either, to be honest with you. Very mild on the heat, very mild on the sweet. It's more of a vegetable taste, more of a green pepper taste. Not a bad pepper. Probably not something I would grill again if I'm looking for more heat and more sweet. Like the Cajun Bell, it was a pepper I did last year, and it had a real good balance of sweet and heat. This one is kind of low on both those scales. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next one.